Hi and hello everyone. This is your Mansoor from Department of English. Today we are going to discuss 10th English Unit 2 Prose 2. The lesson is The Night the Ghost Got In, written by James Grover Darber. Before we start teaching that lesson, we can have a discussion on author. James Grover Darber was born on 1894 and died on 1961. Was an American cartoonist. He was a famous American cartoonist, author, and also a humorist, journalist, and playwright. He was famous cartoonist, author, humorist, journalist, and playwright, and celebrated as a great wit. He will be making more humors by using his intellectuality. That's why he is famous for wit. He was best known for his cartoons and short stories, published mainly in the New York Magazine. In the New York Magazine, they will be publishing many cartoons. Not only that, the more famous humorous stories, the name is the Catbird Seed. Who has written that? Only the James Grover Darber, and collected in the numerous books. He was one of the most popular humorists of his time as he celebrated the comic frustrations and eccentricities of ordinary people. Why he is celebrated as famous humorist means he will be making more humor in his writings. Not only that, he will be saying something different type of person. The people, they may have different type of qualities. Somebody, they may be comic. Somebody, they may have frustration in their lives, that is vexation in their lives, and some people will be eccentric. What is the meaning of eccentric? Means cranky. That is indifferent, uncommon. They are not ordinary people. So he has written everything, different style of the people, only in a comic way. That's why he has considered as a great humorist. Now, we can have a discussion on the lesson. Don't think that the night the ghost got in, it is not a ghost story. It is like a ghost story. Don't get confused. Let us discuss now. Imagination of hard things always leads to absolute humor. Read the lesson and enjoy the narrator's experience with his grandfather, who creates chaos and laughter with his imaginative stories. Now what the author is saying, imagination of hard things means strange things. Here hard refers to strange things. Always brings, absolute means complete humor, that is comedy. Imagination of ordinary things, that is strange things, always brings complete comedy. In this lesson, you can see the narrator has got the experience from his grandfather. The grandfather has created chaos. Here chaos refers to that confusion. So from that confusion, he has written that comedy, that is humorous story. The story name is The Night the Ghost Got In. This is the experience that he has gained only from that grandfather, that is author's grandfather. Here the author is the narrator is the author. Now the ghost that got into our house on the night of November 17, 1915 raised such a hullabaloo of misunderstandings that I am sorry I did not just let it keep on walking and go to bed. Its advent caused my mother to throw a shoe through a window of the house next door and ended up with my grandfather shooting a patrolman. I am sorry. Therefore, as I have said, that I ever paid any attention to the footsteps. What is the explanation for this paragraph? The ghost has got inside the narrator's house, that is James' house, when? On November 17, 1950. During that night time, the ghost has got inside the house that has created some hullabaloo. What is the meaning of hullabaloo? It is a glossary word. Whenever the glossary word comes, I will explain. Just note down in your book. A lot of loud noise made by people who are excited. Because of the excitement, the people, they are making the noise. For that, we have to say it as hullabaloo. Here they have made that hullabaloo. Who has made means the ghost had made the hullabaloo because of misunderstandings. The reason for hullabaloo is the misunderstanding created by the ghost. That whenever I comes, here I refers to the author, that is the narrator James. I am sorry, the author felt sorry that he did not just let it refers to the ghost. The author is not ready to leave the ghost as such walking on the dining table. November 17, 1915, the ghost has got inside the author's house. It is walking in the dining table. Now, the author is not ready to leave as it is, and he is not ready to go to bed. It's advent. Advent here refers to the arrival. The arrival of the ghost caused by mother to throw a shoe through a window of the house. Due to that, what happened? My mother started throwing a shoe through a window to the next door, and ended up with my grandfather shooting a patrolman. At last, what my grandfather has done, he has shot the patrolman. The patrolman is a glossary word, a patrolling police officer. He has shot that man. I am sorry. He felt sorry. Therefore, as I have said, I have ever paid any attention to the steps. The author, he has been paying only the attention on the footsteps of the ghost. This is the gist of the story. Now we can have a deep discussion on the story. Now what happens? See, they began about a quarter past 1 o'clock in the morning. A rhythmic, quick cadence to walking around the dining room table. My mother was asleep in one room upstairs. My brother Herman in another. Grandfather was in the attic, in the old walnut bed, which, as you will remember, once fell on my father. I had just stepped out of the bathtub and was busily rubbing myself with a towel when I heard the steps. They were the steps of a man walking rapidly round the dining table downstairs. Now what happened? The story started when quarter past 1 o'clock means 1:15 a.m. morning. What happened? The author, that is the narrator, James, what he is looking means at 1:15 a.m. a rhythmic quick cadence. Rhythmic means regular repeated sound. Quick cadence means regular beat walking around the dining room table. At night, that is 1:15 a.m. what happened? Some image, some object or some image is walking on the dining room table. That is author's dining room table. My mother was sleeping in one upstairs. An upstairs room was there. In that room, author's mother was in a deep sleep. And first character is mother. Next character is Herman. Who is that? Herman means brother of James. Herman is also staying in another room, taking complete rest during that 1:15 a.m. And where the grandfather means, grandfather was in the attic. Glossary word attic, note down, a space, a room inside. A space, a room inside, or partly inside the room of a building. Partly inside the roof of a building is a attic. So mother was sleeping in one room. The brother Herman also sleeping in the another room. Grandfather was in the attic. He was sleeping in a bed. The bed was made by a walnut tree. That is why they have used walnut bed. The grandfather was sleeping in the walnut bed. Walnut means a type of a tree. As you will remember, once fell on my father. Once upon a time, what happened? That bed has fallen on his father. Whose father? Arthur's father. I had just stepped out of the bathtub. During that time where the author was means, the author was in the bathroom taking bath. You may ask, sir, morning at 1:15 a.m. the author is taking the bath. What to do? I think so the author has the habit of taking bath during the time only. Okay, anyhow, now the author was taking bath. Brother also sleeping, mother is also sleeping, grandfather was in the attic, he was in a roof, that is one room. And I had just stepped out of a bathtub and was busily rubbing myself with a towel when I heard the steps. At the time, what the author is doing now, taking bath in the shower, that is in the bathtub, and rubbing himself. But by covering the towel, he is hearing the steps, footsteps. They were the steps of a man walking rapidly, violently round the dining table downstairs. The author is in the upstairs, but he could see the sound in the downstairs, that is in the dining hall. Somebody is going round and round the dining table in the downstairs. Now what happened? The light from the bathroom shone down the back steps which dropped directly into the dining room. I could see the faint sign of plates on the plate rail. I could not see the table. The steps kept going round and round the table. At regular intervals, a board creaked when it was trod upon. I supposed at first that it was my father or my brother Roy who had gone to Indianapolis, but were expected home at any time. I suspected next that it was a burglar. It did not enter my mind until later that it was a ghost. Now what happened? Now we can see the author is coming out of the bathroom by wearing the towel. Why? What is the reason? He could hear the footsteps in the dining table room downstairs. Now he is in upstairs. The light from the bathroom shone down. They have given the word shone. The past tense of shine is shone, shining down the back steps. The author could see the back steps. Why? What is the reason? Means the light from the bathroom is falling on the back steps, so he could see only the back steps. And also he could see the dining room, not the entire dining room. He could see some faint sign. What's the meaning of faint sign? They have given the word not clearly seen. He is not able to see clearly the dining table. Of plates on the plate rail, he could see only the plates, set of plates that will be arranged in the plate rail. What's the meaning of plate rail? Set of plates will be arranged in the plate rail. He could see only some steps and also the plate rail. The plates are arranged in that rail. He could not able to see the clear image of that dining room. I could not see the table. The author is saying that he is not able to see the table clearly. The steps going on round and round the table. At regular intervals, he could hear the creak sound. What sound? Creak sound. Board's creak sound. When it was tread upon. T-R-O-D. They have given tread upon. Tread. The present tense of tread is trod. Trod now walking. Stepped upon. Somebody is walking at regular intervals. While at the time of walking, the author could hear the steps. That is the creaking sound of the board. I thought, suppose, they have given the word supposed. I thought at first that it was my father. At first, what the author has thought, it may be my father. The author has thought, or at least he may be my brother. Another one character now I am going to introduce. Another one brother is there. The brother name is Roy. Already I have introduced one brother name, that is Herman. Herman is taking complete sleep in his room. And now the another one brother is there, Roy, who had gone to the Indianapolis, but were expected home at any time. The author is expecting at any time that his brother Roy may come here. That is why he is expecting, who has gone to the Indianapolis, he may come at any time. That was the expectation of the author. And I suspected. What is the meaning of suspected? Means doubted. Next, that it was the burglar. That is the thief. He may be the thief. At first, he has judged that he may be his father. And then second, he thought that he may be the brother Roy who has gone to that Indianapolis. At last, he decided that he may be the burglar. That is the thief. And it did not enter my mind until later that it was a ghost. After a long time, only he has realized that it was not his father or brother or thief. That is the ghost who has come to the conclusion, means that is the author. James came to the conclusion that the person who is walking on the dining table is not the person, it is the ghost. Now, we can discuss. After the walking had gone on for perhaps 3 minutes, I tiptoed to Herman's room. Hush, I hissed in the dark, shaking him. He said in the low, hopeless tone of a despondent beagle. He always half suspected that something would get him in the night. I told him who I was. There is something downstairs, I said. He got up and followed me to the head of the back staircase. The steps had ceased, means stopped. Herman looked at me in some alarm. I had only the bath towel round my waist. He wanted to go back to bed. I gripped his arm. Now I will explain. After the walking had gone on for perhaps 3 minutes. Now what happened? For the past 3 minutes, the walking is going on. The ghost, now he has decided that that was the ghost. Somebody is walking on the dining table room. After 3 minutes, I tiptoed. What the word they have used? Tiptoed. What is the meaning of tiptoed? Means walking on the tip of the toe. He should not make any noise. That's why the author is walking on the tip of his toe and going to the Herman's room. Who is that Herman? Herman is his brother. So he is going to the Herman's rooms with his tip of his toes. Whose I hissed in the dark, shaking him. During that midnight at 1:15, he is wake upping his brother, means the brother will get afraid. That's why he is saying that, whose, don't get afraid, shaking the brother. The brother is wake upping from the bed. He said in the low, hopeless tone of despondent beagle. Very sad. What's the meaning of very sad? Without hope. Beagle means a type of a small dog for hunting. Type of a small dog for hunting. Here why they have used that word means without hope. He said in the low hopeless tone of a despondent beagle, like a dog, hunting dog, in a low voice, without a hope. He has lost the hope. He has got afraid. Who has got afraid? The author has got afraid. And also, he always half suspected. Suspected means doubtful that something would get him in the night, like a Kanchana movie. The hero will get afraid of the ghost. Like that, here also, the Herman is getting more afraid on the ghost. So always he thinks that during that time, in the midnight, the ghost will catch him. He is wake upping his brother. The brother will get afraid. That's why he is saying that don't get afraid. He is introducing himself, that who he is. I am your brother, don't worry, nothing wake upping you. I am your brother, I am only wake upping you. Please wake up from the bed. Something downstairs. Now he is explaining to his brother, something is there in the downstairs. The author said, the Herman got up and followed me to the back staircase, the head of the steps. He is coming back and following the author because they have to look what is going on in the downstairs. The steps had ceased. Ceased means stopped. Now there was no steps at all. That was the last step. Herman looked at me in some alarm, dreadful fear. He has got some dread, some fear. He has got afraid. Herman is looking with fear, looking his brother James with fear. I had only the bath towel around my waist. During the time 1:15 a.m. What type of a dress I am wearing? The author is wearing means only the towel in his waist. That's why the Herman is getting confused. And also, he wanted to go back to bed. I gripped his arm. He who wanted to go back to the bed, Herman wanted to go back to the bed. That's why the author holding the arm of that brother. Here, gripped means grabbed or held. That is holding the arms of his brother Herman. Stop here. Don't go to bed like that. He is holding the arms of his brother. There is something down there. Who is explaining now? The author is explaining. There is something down there. I said. Instantly the steps began again. Circled the dining room table like a man running and started up the stairs towards us. Heavily, two at a time. The light still shone palely down the stairs. We saw nothing coming. We only heard the steps. Herman rushed to his room and slammed the door. I slammed shut the door at the staircase. Stairs stopped and held my knee against it. Now what happened? There is something is there down. Again, the author is explaining to the brother is that something is there in the downstairs. The author told instantly, they have given the word instantly means immediately. Immediately steps began. So immediately the steps began again, circled, moved the dining table like a man running. Somebody is running on the dining table like a man. Now the Herman and James could hear the sound of the footsteps in the dining table room. And also, like a man running and started up the stairs towards us. Now what they are feeling is that the particular man is coming towards them, towards Herman and James. Now, heavily two at a time, two steps at a time. At a time they are coming forward. That particular man, they thought that particular object or particular man is coming forward. The light still shone palely, light down the stairs. They are not able to see the stairs or steps properly. We saw nothing coming. But what happened? Just they are realizing that something is coming towards them. But nothing is coming. We only heard the steps. They could hear only the sound of the steps. Herman rushed to his room and slumbered. Suddenly what happened? Herman, the brother of James, brother of the narrator, has got inside the room and slammed. The nice word. Note down what is the meaning of slammed means closed the door. Herman, by getting inside the room, he has closed the door. He has shut the door. I slammed shut the door at stairs top and held my knee against it. I refers to the author, that is James, narrator. Narrator also getting inside in that another room and closing the door, slamming the door and holding the door tightly by his knees. And then after a long time, after a long minute, I slowly opened it again. There was nothing there. There was no sound. None of us ever heard the ghost again. Now what happened? After a long time, they are only in the room. No sound at all. I slowly opened. The author is slowly opening the door. But now what happened? Nothing happened. There was no sound at all. There was no sound. Nothing happened. None of us ever heard the ghost again. None of us here refers to that. Neither that is James or his brother, they are not able to hear any sound at all. And also now what happened? The slamming of the doors had aroused mother. She peered out of her room. What on earth are you boys doing? She demanded Herman. Ventured out of his room. Nothing, he said gruffly, but he was in color, a light green. What was all that running around downstairs? Said mother. So she had heard the steps too. We just looked at her. Burglars, she shouted. Intuitively, I tried to quieten her by starting lightly downstairs. Now we can discuss the slamming of the doors, that is the closing of the doors, had aroused. Had aroused means what happened? They are closing the doors with force. The author and his brother Herman is closing, slamming the doors with force. Because of the sound, who was awakened up from the sleep means mother. That is James and Herman's mother has waken up from the bed. Arose is a word. Arose, aroused, aroused. Arise is also there. Here the author has used the word aroused. Aroused means to awaken from sleep. So now the mother has waken up. She looked out of her room. Peered means looked out of her room. Now she is looking out of the room. What on earth are you doing, boys? What are you doing here in that 1:15 a.m.? Two boys are out. You are standing in the staircase. What happened to you? The mother is asking. She asked, demanded, she asked. Herman ventured, came out of his room. Now who is standing there means only James is standing. Still the Herman is inside the room. Now who is coming out of the room by hearing the voice of mother means Herman is coming out of the room. Nothing, he said. Herman said nothing. Gruffly. Gruffly means sad. This is the glossary word. Gruffly means sad. Within a sad tone, he is saying nothing happened. Nothing, mommy. Like that. But he was in color a light green. The face has become light green. Like pale in color. Without blood. How the face will be pale in color? Because Herman has got more afraid on the ghost. He has that fear of the ghost. What was all that running around downstairs? The mother is asking the same question. I could hear some footsteps in the downstairs in the dining table room. What was that sound? The mother is asking that two boys. So she had heard the steps. Now the author has came to the conclusion that who could have heard that steps? Mother also heard the footsteps. We just looked at her. They are looking without saying anything. The two boys are looking at their mother. Burglars. What they are saying? They are not saying the ghost. They are saying only the thieves are there. She shouted, burglars. She has intuitively means without conscious. Instinctively. Without conscious, she has started shouting because she has got more afraid on that thieves. I tried to quieten her by starting lightly downstairs. Now he has started the story. What is happening in the downstairs? Quiet. Keep quiet like that. The word has used quieten. Calm down. Quieten means calm down. By calming down her mother, she has started the story. What is happening in the downstairs? Come on, Herman. I said. I here refers to that. Author has said, come on, Herman. I shall stay with mother, he said. She is all excited. The author is calling Herman. Come on, we can go to downstairs and we can look what is happening in the downstairs. But he is not ready. The Herman is not ready to come along with the James. He is saying that I will stay along with the mother. Because she has got more nervous and excited. That's why I want to stay with my mother. I won't come like that. The Herman is saying to the author. I stepped back onto the landing. I am ready to land down. I am ready to go down to the downstairs and I want to know what is happening. Like that the author is saying. Don't either of you go a step, said mother. We shall call the police. Since the phone was downstairs. I did not see how we were going to call the police. Nor did I want the police, but mother made one of her quick, incomparable decisions. She flung up a window of her bedroom, which faced the bedroom window of the house of a neighbor, picked up a shoe and whammed it through a pane of glass across the narrow space that separated the two houses. Glass tingled into the bedroom occupied by a retired engraver named Bodwell and his wife. Bodwell had been for some years in rather a bad way and was subject to mild attacks. Almost everybody we knew or lived near and some kinds of attacks. Here see, don't either of you go a step. No one should get down. Either Herman or James should get down. The mother is warning not to take a single step to go down the staircase, and that is mean dining table. We call the police. It is better what the mother is saying. Herman, you don't go. Not only the Herman, but also the James should not go. Not even a step they have to take. Better we can call the police. That is the suggestion of the mother. Since the phone was downstairs, now they have to make a call to the police. Then only the police may arrive. But where was the phone? The phone was in the downstairs only. If they want to make a call, they have to go downstairs. I didn't see how we were going to call the police. The author has got confused. Still they don't know what to do because they have no hope. They have no idea of calling the police because the phone is in the that is in the dining room. Nor did I want the police. I didn't see how we are going to call the police. Nor did I want the police. And also the author is not willing to call the police. But mother made one of her quick, incomparable decisions. The mother has taken the decision. An uncomparable, matchless decision. The author is not willing to call the police. The mother is willing to call the police. At last, the mother has made a sudden, quick decision. What is the decision means? She flung. What is the present tense of flung means? Fling, flung, flung. How it is means? Fly, flew, flown. Catch, caught, caught. Like that, fling, flung, flung. Threw up a window of her bedroom which faced the bedroom window of the house of a neighbor, picked up a shoe and whammed. Note down the word. What is the meaning of whammed? Means struck something forcefully through the pane of a glass across the narrow space that separated the two houses. There was a gap between narrator's house and also the neighbor's house. Suddenly, the mother has picked up a shoe, getting inside the bedroom, opening the window, bedroom window. She is throwing the shoe through that bedroom window to the neighbor's window. Now what happened? The glass tingled, the sound made by the glass that has been breaking. Yes, she is breaking the glass, that is a bedroom glass, occupied by who is staying in that neighbor house means that is a retired engraver. Engraver means artist named Bodwell. Another one character is here, Bodwell. Who is Bodwell means neighbor. He is staying nearby James' house. So the mother is throwing the shoe through the bedroom window to the neighbor's bedroom window, that is Bodwell's house. And his wife named who is there in that neighbor house means Bodwell and Mrs. Bodwell are staying there in the house. Bodwell had been for some years in rather a bad way or was subject to mild attacks. What is the meaning was? There was a dispute between the author's family and also the neighbor's family. What happened? Some attacks. And some neighbors, there was a fight between the neighbors. Like that, they have the fight between Bothwell and also the James family. Now, what happened? Almost everybody we knew or lived near had some kind of attacks. What happened? They have dispute with that Bothwell. Not only the Bothwell, the persons, those who are nearby them, they have some disputes among the people. Now they can't, because if they have good relationship, if they have good contact with them, they will help you. They have some little disputes. That's why they don't know what to do. Though they have the dispute also, mother has taken the sudden and quick decision that she has thrown the shoe on the neighbor's Bothwell's house. That is on the window of that Bothwell's house. It was now about 2 o'clock. The story started at 1:15 a.m. During that time, the author was taking bath. Now the time is 2 o'clock of a moonless night. So it was now about 2 o'clock of a moonless night. Clouds hung black, and lo, Bothwell was at the window in a minute, shouting, frothing a little, shaking his fist. We shall sell the house and go back to Poiria. We could hear Mrs. Bothwell saying, it was some time before mother got through to Bothwell. Burglars. She shouted, burglars in the house. Herman and I had not dared to tell her that it was not burglars but ghosts. For she was even more afraid of ghosts than of burglars. Bothwell at first thought that she meant there were burglars in his house, but finally he quieted down and called the police for us over an extension phone by his bed. After he had disappeared from the window, mother suddenly made as if to throw another shoe. Not because there was further need of it, but as she later explained, because the thrill of heaving a shoe through a window glass had enormously taken her fancy, I prevented it. Now I will explain this paragraph. It was about 12 o'clock. What is the time? 2 o'clock of a moonless night. There was no moon at all. Moonless night. The time is 2 o'clock. Clouds hung black. The clouds are looking black and dull. Low means dull. Bothwell was at the window in a minute. Within a minute, what happened? The Bothwell came to that window, came near to that window, shouting, frothing means the foam. Foam was there, little foam was there in the mouth of Bothwell, shaking his fist. By holding the fingers tightly, shaking the fist and talking more rudely with the mother. Now what happened? We shall sell the house. How we have to read? We shall sell the house. Aiku, viku, shellu, matrathukalla, villu, moonu daati sollu, solla gatti killu. Why I am using here means, for I and we have to use shall. I shall go, we shall go. For remaining things, we have to use only will. That's why I have said ayyiku, viyiku, shellu, matrathukalla, villu, moonu daati sollu, solla gatti killu. But now what the modern grammar book says, for I and we also we can use will. Either will or shall. But exactly for I and we have to use only shall. So here, we shall sell the house and go back to Poiria. Who is saying? The Bothwell and Bothwell's wife is saying that better we have to sell the house. If we don't like to live here, often they are giving some distractions and disputes are there. Better we have to go down and settle down in that Poiria after selling the house. Bothwell's wife is saying. Bothwell also saying. We could hear Mrs. Bothwell also saying that. It was sometime before mother got through Bothwell, going towards that Bothwell. Because he has to convey why he has thrown that shoe on that window. Mother got through a Bothwell, burglars are here. She is saying burglars. She shouted, she started shouting saying burglars. Burglars in the house. What happened? The Herman has got shocked. Why? What is the reason? Burglars in the house. Herman and I had not dared to tell that it was not burglars but ghost. What's the meaning of dare? Courage. The Herman and James, they have no dare enough to say mother that they are not burglars, ghost was there. Just mother has thought who was there, no? Burglars are there. That's why he is saying to that board, well, burglars are there. Only the Herman and James know that who is there in the downstairs in the dining room means only the ghost. But they have no dare enough, courage enough to explain this to the mother. And for she was even more afraid of ghosts than of burglars, because he has more fear of ghosts while comparing the burglars. That's why they are not ready to explain anything. And also, Bodwell at first thought that she mean there were burglars in his house. At first, what the Bodwell has thought, the neighbor has thought, means burglars are there in that Bodwell's house. And then only he has realized that burglars, the thieves are in the house of that James' house. And also now what happened? But finally, he quieted down and called the police for us over an extension phone by his bed. Who has made the call to the police means only the Bodwell. Who has helped the mother means only the Bodwell by making a call to the police. And also after he had disappeared from the window, after he has moved out from the window, mother suddenly made as if to throw another shoe. What happened? The Herman has got shocked. Why? What is the reason? Herman and James, especially the narrator, why he has got shocked? The mother was standing with another pair of shoes to throw on the window of Bodwell. Not because there was further need of it, no need of throwing shoe again, but she was standing with a shoe. What is the reason? Later he has explained that the thrill of weaving a shoe, what he is getting, she is getting some type of thrill by throwing the shoe on the Bodwell's house. That's why what happened, he is getting more fancy and imagination. The one and only aim of mother is that she has to throw that shoe on the Bodwell's house. At last, who has prevented? Prevented refers to that stopped. Who has stopped is the author has stopped the mother from throwing the shoe on Bodwell's house.